Hello everyone. My name is Aung. Thank you for visiting my YouTube channel, Read and Learn English. Today, I want to tell you something very personal. This is not just a lesson. This is my real life. I want to share my journey with you, how I learned English while working 2 jobs, with no time, no money, and no help. If you are busy, tired, or poor like me, I want you to know, you can still learn English. You can do it too. I come from a poor background. Life was never easy for me. I wake up early every day, sometimes before the sun rises. I start my first job at 9 a.m. and finish at 5 p.m. But my day does not end there. After a short break, I go to my second job. I work until late evening. When I get home, I am so tired. My legs hurt. My eyes feel heavy. I don't even want to eat. I just want to sleep. But deep inside, I had a dream. I wanted to speak English. I wanted to change my life. Many people think you need money or free time to learn English. But I had none of those things. I had no time for English classes. I could not pay for a teacher or a course. I only had one thing, a strong reason. I wanted to speak English because I wanted a better job. I wanted to help my family. I wanted to feel proud when I talked to others. I wanted to understand people when they spoke English. And I wanted others to understand me too. This dream gave me power, even when I was very tired. In this video, you will see how I turned that dream into action. You will see parts of my daily life. I will show you how I used every small moment to learn, during my bus ride, during my lunch break, even during my work. I listened to English videos. I repeated short sentences in my head. I learned 5 new words every day. Some days I had only 10 minutes. Some days, even less. But I used that time. I never stopped. You will also see the hard side of my journey. I will not lie. It was painful sometimes. I felt alone. People laughed at my English. Some days I wanted to quit. But I didn't. I kept going, and slowly I saw change. My English got better. My confidence grew. I started to feel like a new person. So, if you feel hopeless right now, if you think you are too busy, too poor, too old, or too tired to learn English, please listen to my story. I am not special. I am just like you. But I made a choice. I didn't wait for the perfect time. I started with what I had, and that made all the difference. If I can learn English while working 2 jobs, you can too. My hard life, but strong dream. I was not born into a rich family. From a young age, I saw how hard life could be. My parents worked every day just to give us food. We never had extra money. Sometimes we didn't even have enough. I couldn't go to a good school. I didn't have the best books or a good phone or internet. Many days I studied by myself with old papers and broken pens. But even in that simple life, I had a small light inside me, a dream. When I became an adult, I had to work hard to survive. I got a job that started at 9 in the morning and finished at 5 in the evening. But one job was not enough. I had to pay rent. I had to help my family. I had to buy food and clothes. So I took a second job. Some days I worked until 9 or even 10 at night. I was always tired. My back hurt. My eyes felt heavy. Sometimes I walked home because I had no money left for the bus. There was no time for fun, no time for rest, and of course, no time for English. Many people told me, "You can learn English later." But deep inside, I felt that later would never come. Every day was the same. Wake up, work, eat fast, work again, sleep for a few hours, then repeat. I felt stuck in the same life, like I was walking in a circle that never ends. One of the biggest pains in my life was not knowing English. It hurt me deeply, and not just in school, in real life. At work, sometimes customers spoke English. I could not answer them. I felt embarrassed. I missed many job chances because I couldn't pass interviews in English. I once applied for a better job that paid more money, but during the interview, I didn't understand the questions. I just smiled and said, "Sorry, I don't speak English well." That job went to someone else. I felt like crying. Even simple things made me nervous. Reading signs, understanding messages, filling out forms in English. Everything was hard. I felt small. I felt afraid. And I hated that feeling. I didn't want to feel afraid my whole life. I didn't want to say sorry every time someone spoke English. I wanted to be free. That is when I made a strong decision. I must learn English. No more excuses. I didn't care how tired I was. I didn't care how busy I was. I didn't care that I had no money for classes. I told myself, I will find a way. I will learn English with whatever I have. This dream became like fire in my heart. It burned inside me every day. I imagined myself speaking English with confidence. I imagined getting a better job. I imagined helping my family with more money. I imagined standing tall, without fear. My dream was not only about speaking English. It was about changing my life. I knew English could open doors for me, not just in my country, but in the whole world. I saw people who spoke English travel, teach, do business, and grow. I wanted that chance too. I didn't want to stay poor forever. I didn't want my future children to suffer like I did. So I started to look at every small moment as a chance to learn. I told myself, even 10 minutes is enough. If I could not go to school, I would turn my phone into my teacher. If I could not sit and study with books, I would listen to English while walking, while working, even while cleaning. No time, no problem. I had a strong reason. That was enough. Some nights I came home and felt like giving up. My legs hurt. My head was full. I wanted to sleep. But then I remembered why I started. I remembered my dream, and I got back up. I watched a small English video. I repeated 2 new sentences. I whispered to myself, "Keep going, Ang. Don't stop." Yes, my life was hard. I was poor. I had no time. I had no teacher. But I had one thing, a strong dream. That dream gave me power. It gave me focus. It gave me hope. And it pushed me forward, step by step. So if you are listening to this and you feel like your life is too hard, I understand you. I was there. I had 2 jobs. I was always tired. But I made a choice. I didn't wait for a better day. I didn't wait for someone to help me. I started with nothing. And that was enough. Because when your dream is strong, your excuses become weak. That's how my journey began. A poor man with a tired body, but a strong heart, ready to change his life through English. Planning my English journey. After I made the decision to learn English, I asked myself a very serious question. How can I learn with no money, no teacher, and almost no time? That question made me stop and think. I had no perfect plan, no English school, and no one to help me. But I told myself, it's okay. Start small. Start simple. Just start. That was the beginning of my English journey. I took a piece of paper and wrote 1 sentence at the top. Every day, I will do something in English. That became my number one rule. It didn't matter how tired I was. It didn't matter if I worked 15 hours that day. It didn't matter if I only had 5 minutes. I had to do something. Listen, read, speak, or write in English. Something was always better than nothing. My plan had to be simple and free, because I had no extra money. I started by using the things I already had, my old phone and free internet at work or public places. I downloaded free apps like Duolingo and used YouTube to find English videos with slow speaking and subtitles. I followed pages on Facebook and Instagram that posted one English word or phrase every day. I didn't spend a single dollar, but I was already learning. Then I looked at my daily schedule. From 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., I was at my first job. After a short rest, I went to my second job and finished in the evening. It looked like there was no time left, but I decided to look more closely. In the morning, I used 10 minutes after waking up to listen to English while brushing my teeth or eating. I found that listening was easy and didn't take extra time. During my bus ride or walk to work, I played English audio, short podcasts or stories. I didn't understand everything, but that was okay. I just let the language go into my ears. During my break at work, I stopped checking social media. Instead, I read short English posts or watched one video with subtitles. That small change gave me 10 more minutes of learning every day. After work, even when I was tired, I would say 3 to 5 sentences to myself in English. How was my day? What did I do? What will I eat? This simple self-talk helped me a lot. I didn't need a speaking partner. I just needed my voice and my thoughts. At night, before sleeping, I made it a rule to watch at least one short English video or review one page of a book. I did this even when my body was crying for rest. I told myself, just one video, just one. That discipline became a powerful habit. In total, I found 20 to 30 minutes a day, not in one block, but in small moments. 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there. But I did it every day. And that is the secret. Consistency is more powerful than perfection. You don't need to study for 2 hours. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to understand everything. You just need to show up every single day. I reminded myself of this again and again, even when I didn't understand a word, even when I made a mistake, even when I felt stupid, I still kept going. Sometimes I felt bad because I was not learning fast. I saw other people speak English fluently, and I felt slow. But then I remembered, they are not working 2 jobs like me. They are not in my shoes. I am doing the best I can, and that is enough. I told myself, slow progress is still progress. To stay organized, I created a simple English notebook. In it, I wrote down 5 new words every day. I also wrote 1 sentence using those words. I didn't use big grammar rules. I just wrote naturally, like a child learning to speak. That notebook became my personal English friend. I carried it in my pocket. During waiting time, at the bus stop, in a line, or on a break, I opened it and reviewed. Planning my English journey didn't require big ideas. It required small, smart steps. I made it a part of my life, just like eating or sleeping. I stopped waiting for the perfect time. There is no perfect time. There is only now. And even when I felt lazy, I told myself, 1 small action today is better than 0. That's how I stayed on track. No big plan, just a strong reason, a small daily goal, and the courage to keep going. So if you think you are too busy to learn English, I understand you. But trust me, you don't need big time. You need big heart. Look at your day. You will find 10 minutes. Use that time. Make a plan that fits your life. Keep it simple. Keep it daily. And most of all, keep your promise to yourself. That's how I started my English journey. Not with perfect tools, but with a powerful dream and a daily plan. My daily routine for learning English. Learning English with 2 jobs is not easy. But I created a daily routine that fits my busy life. It's not a perfect plan, but it works. I didn't need to change my whole schedule. I just added English to the life I already lived. Now, I want to share with you my simple daily routine that helped me learn English while working every day. Every morning, I wake up feeling tired, but I remind myself, a new day, a new chance to grow. My day starts early. I don't have a lot of time, so I use the time I do have. While brushing my teeth, I play English, listening on my phone. Sometimes it's a slow English podcast. Sometimes it's simple daily conversations. Even if I don't understand everything, I just let the words go into my ears. I don't stop brushing. I don't stop dressing. But the English keeps playing in the background. This way, I turn my morning into a learning moment. After I get ready, I go to work. On the way, if I'm walking or sitting on the bus, I take out my phone. I use flashcards to learn 5 or 10 English words. I use free apps, or sometimes I just open my notebook with my handwritten words. I don't try to learn everything in one day, just a few words. I repeat them in my mind while walking. I also try to think in English during my travel. I look around and think, I see a man. He is walking fast. Or, that tree is very tall. These are simple thoughts, but they help me to change my brain from my native language to English. This is a small but powerful habit. When I reach my first job, I focus on work. I do my duties well. But I still try to add English during small moments. During lunch or tea break, I take 5 to 10 minutes to listen to a podcast or watch one YouTube video. Sometimes I repeat what I hear. I don't worry about mistakes. I don't worry if people laugh. I'm doing this for my future. One rule I made for myself was this: speak at least one sentence in English to someone every day. At work, I try to greet someone in English. I say, "Good morning," or "How are you today?" If someone responds, I smile and reply in simple English. This small talk may seem unimportant, but it builds confidence. I remember the first time I said, "Can you help me, please?" It was not perfect, but I felt proud. I also learn from my surroundings. I read signs, posters, product labels, and even emails at work. If I see a word I don't know, I write it down and search later. Everything becomes a lesson when your eyes are open. One time, I read the word fragile on a box and didn't know what it meant. Later, I searched and found it means easily broken. Now I never forget that word. After my first job, I go to my second job. By this time, I'm very tired. But I tell myself, this is your dream. Don't stop now. I put one earphone in, if allowed, and listen to English while working. Sometimes I hear stories, sometimes vocabulary lessons. I don't always catch every word, but my ears are still learning. The rhythm, the sounds, the sentences, they all become familiar. If my job is quiet and doesn't need talking, I speak to myself while working. In my mind, I say, I am folding clothes, or now I clean the floor. It sounds funny, but it works. My brain starts thinking in English. I practice simple sentences related to my work. I don't need a classroom. I use my workplace as my school. At the end of the day, my body feels heavy. My back hurts. My eyes want to close. But I still keep my promise to myself. Before sleeping, I do one small thing in English. Usually, I watch one short video in slow English or read one page of a book or article. I don't choose anything too hard, just something small and simple. The goal is not to learn everything. The goal is to end the day with English in my mind. After the video or page, I take a few minutes to review the new words I learned that day. I look at my flashcards or notebook. I say the words aloud. If I learned beautiful, I say, "This is a beautiful day." If I learned quickly, I say, "I eat quickly because I have work." I don't try to memorize like a robot. I try to use the words in real sentences. This way, I remember them better. This short night routine helps me sleep with confidence. I feel proud that I did not break my rule. Every day, do something in English. Even when I was tired, even when I had no energy, I still showed up for my dream. My daily routine is not perfect, but it is powerful because it fits my life. I didn't quit my job. I didn't go to a special school. I just made English a part of my daily actions. Morning, day, evening, night. Each part of my day had a small space for English, and these small moments created big change. My listening improved. My speaking became more natural. My fear went down. My confidence grew. Not because I studied for hours, but because I stayed consistent every day. If you are working hard like me, I understand your pain, but I also believe in your power. You don't need big time. You just need small habits, strong purpose, and a heart that refuses to quit. That is how I built my English skills, one small step at a time, through the real, busy life of a poor worker with a strong dream. The free tools that helped me. When I started learning English, I had no money to spend on classes or books. I was working 2 jobs and struggling just to survive. But deep in my heart, I knew one thing. If I really wanted to learn, I had to find free tools and use them every day. And that's exactly what I did. The first and most powerful tool I found was YouTube. Yes, YouTube was my free classroom. I searched for channels that teach English with slow speaking and subtitles. I didn't watch entertainment videos. I focused on learning videos only. Some channels spoke slowly and clearly. They explained words, showed pictures, and had subtitles in English. This helped me understand both sound and spelling. I watched videos while eating, before sleeping, or during my work breaks. I didn't need to travel to school. My phone became my teacher, and YouTube became my best friend. Another tool that helped me a lot was podcasts for beginners. I searched on Google, English podcasts for beginners. I found many free ones. Some were short, around 5 to 10 minutes. They used easy English and repeated important words. I listened to these podcasts while traveling to work or doing housework. I didn't sit with a notebook. I just listened and let my ears get used to the sound of English. Over time, I started to understand more. My listening skill improved, and I felt more confident. I also used free apps. One of the first apps I used was Duolingo. It's simple, fun, and easy to use. I liked how it turned learning into a game. Every day I completed 1 or 2 lessons. Sometimes I made mistakes, but I kept going. I also used Google Translate. If I saw a word I didn't know, I typed it in Google Translate. It showed me the meaning in my language, and sometimes gave example sentences. This helped me learn faster. Another great tool was Anki, a flashcard app. I used it to save new words and review them every day. I created my own flashcards with the English word on one side and my native language on the other. Repeating these cards helped me remember better. Books were also a part of my learning. But I didn't start with difficult books. I started with children's English books. Yes, books made for kids. They have simple words, big pictures, and easy grammar. I borrowed some from the local library and found others online for free. I read slowly, and if I didn't understand a word, I looked it up. Reading these simple books gave me confidence. I understood the story, and that made me feel successful. Slowly, I moved on to storybooks for teenagers, then adults. Watching movies helped me too. But I didn't just watch for fun. I turned on subtitles. In English, not my native language. That way, I could see the words and hear them at the same time. In the beginning, I didn't understand much, but I watched the same movie or episode many times. Each time, I understood more. Watching with subtitles trained my ears and eyes together. It was not passive watching. It was active learning. One of the most powerful methods I discovered was mirror speaking and self-talk. I stood in front of the mirror and practiced speaking in English. I said simple things like, "My name is Aung. Today I feel tired," or "I will go to work now." It felt strange at first. I felt shy, even though I was alone. But after a few days, I became more comfortable. I looked into my own eyes and spoke like I was talking to a friend. I also practiced self-talk during the day. While walking, I would think in English, "I see a bus," or "I need to buy water." This helped me use English in real life, not just in the classroom. These tools cost me zero money, but they gave me so much value. They helped me build a habit. I didn't learn everything at once, but slowly my English improved. Day by day, step by step, and most important, I used them every day. That was the key. Even when I was tired or busy, I did something small, one podcast, one flashcard, one sentence in the mirror. If you are like me, poor, busy, and working hard, please remember this. You don't need money to learn English. You just need motivation and free tools. The internet is full of free learning materials. Use them wisely. Make a small routine. Stick to it. Use YouTube, podcasts, apps, books, subtitles, and your own voice. All of these are your free teachers. These tools helped me survive my English journey when I had nothing else. And if they helped me, they can help you too. Just remember, tools are powerful, but only if you use them. So start today, even with just 5 minutes. Your dream is waiting for you, and it starts with a simple, free step. The struggles I faced. Learning English was not easy for me. In fact, it was one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life. I was not a student with free time. I was a poor man with 2 jobs. My body was always tired, and my mind was often full of stress. Every day I faced many struggles, and sometimes I felt like giving up. One of the biggest problems was no energy after work. After my first job, I felt tired. After my second job, I felt completely empty. My legs hurt. My back hurt. My brain didn't want to think. I would come home late at night, and my eyes could barely stay open. I still had housework, cooking, or helping my family. At those times, learning English felt like too much. I used to ask myself, how can I study when I can't even stand properly? But deep in my heart, I also knew if I didn't learn English, my life would never change. Another struggle was people laughing at my English. I remember speaking English at work or to strangers, and some people laughed. They made jokes about my accent or my mistakes. I felt small, embarrassed, and sometimes angry. It hurt me deeply. But later I realized they laughed because they didn't understand my dream. They didn't know how much courage it takes to speak a new language. I told myself, I'm not speaking for them. I'm speaking for my future. So I kept going, even with a broken accent and shaky voice. I also forgot words very often. I would learn 10 new words today, and tomorrow I could only remember 3. It made me feel like a failure. Sometimes I wrote down words again and again, but still forgot them. I asked myself, is something wrong with my brain? I even thought maybe I was too old to learn. But I kept reminding myself, forgetting is part of learning. The more I repeated, the stronger the memory became. Slowly, the words stayed in my mind longer. Slow progress made me frustrated. I wanted to speak like a native speaker after 1 month. But after 3 months, I still made basic grammar mistakes. I still searched for simple words while speaking. I compared myself to others and felt hopeless. I saw people on YouTube speaking English fluently, and I felt like a beginner. One day, I almost deleted all my apps and notes. But then I thought, if I quit now, I will never improve. But if I continue, I will get better step by step. That small thought helped me stand again. There were many times I simply wanted to quit. After a long day, after a hard week, after being laughed at or forgetting everything, I thought, maybe this is not for me. My body was weak, my heart was tired, and my mind was full of doubt. I told myself, you don't need English. Just work, sleep, and survive. But something inside me always spoke louder than my fear. It was my dream. I remembered my dream. The dream to get a better job, to speak with confidence, to help my family, and to build a better future. I remembered the pain I felt when I couldn't answer questions in English. I remembered how I missed opportunities because I didn't understand. I remembered the feeling when someone translated for me like I was a child. I didn't want to feel that pain forever. I wanted freedom. And English was the key. That dream became my power. When I had no energy, I said, just 5 minutes of English. When people laughed, I said, I'm learning, and one day I will surprise you. When I forgot words, I said, I will learn them again. When progress was slow, I said, at least I'm moving forward. And when I wanted to quit, I looked at my family and said, I must continue. So yes, I struggled. I cried sometimes. I failed many times. But I never gave up. Not because I'm special, but because I held my dream tightly. If you are facing the same struggles, please know this. You are not alone. Many people feel the same pain. Many people want to quit. But if you keep your dream strong, you will rise again. Let your dream be louder than your fear. Let your future speak louder than people's laughter. Let your heart be stronger than your tired body. Because one day you will look back and say, I made it through the hardest days, and now I speak English. Small wins. That gave me hope. When I started learning English, the journey felt long and painful. I was tired, poor, and often alone in my struggle. Every day felt like climbing a mountain. But along the way, I started to see small wins. These wins were not big things, not passing exams or giving speeches. They were simple moments. But for me, they were powerful signs that I was moving forward. These moments gave me hope. I still remember the first time I understood a full video in English. It was a short story video for beginners. I had watched it before, but I could not understand it fully. Then, one night after work, I watched it again. This time, something was different. I could follow the story. I understood the beginning, middle, and end. I even laughed at a joke in the video, in English. That moment made me feel so proud. I paused the video, closed my eyes, and smiled. I really understood, I told myself. My hard work is working. That night, I slept with a happy heart. Another small win was the first time I spoke English without fear. I was buying something from a small shop. The cashier was a foreigner, and usually I would stay silent or just point. But this time I said, "Good evening. How much is this?" The words were simple, but they came out smoothly. I didn't worry about grammar. I didn't shake. I didn't feel afraid. The cashier smiled and replied in English. We had a short, simple talk. When I walked out of that shop, I felt like I had won a gold medal. I was not perfect, but I was brave, and that was more important. One of the most beautiful moments in my journey was when a customer praised my English. At my second job, I often served people who spoke English. One day, I helped a tourist. I spoke clearly, answered his questions, and smiled. He looked at me and said, "Your English is good. Where did you learn it?" I was shocked. No one had ever said that to me before. I told him, "I learn by myself every day." He smiled and said, "Keep it up. You're doing great." After he left, I stood there for a minute. My eyes felt warm. That one sentence gave me energy for a whole month. Another small win was when I understood a sign at work that was written in English. Before, I always asked someone else to explain signs or emails. I felt embarrassed. But one day, there was a safety notice on the wall. I read it slowly, and to my surprise, I understood everything. I didn't need help. I didn't need a translation. I felt like a real worker, strong and smart. I understood the language. I was becoming part of the world around me. That small moment made me feel powerful. I also remember the day I read an email at work and replied in simple English without help. It was just a short message, but I wrote it, checked it, and pressed send. I was nervous, but later I got a reply, and no one corrected my English. That gave me confidence. I started reading more emails. I started replying more. Each small message was proof that I was growing. All of these small wins, they may seem simple to other people, but for me, they were my turning points. They were signs that I was not failing. I was learning. I was growing. I was becoming the person I dreamed of. Each win made me more confident. Each win made me work harder. When I felt tired or discouraged, I remembered these small victories. I told myself, you did it once, you can do it again. Sometimes we wait for big success, but the truth is, success is made of small steps, small wins, quiet victories. The moment you understand a new word, the moment you speak without fear, the moment someone sees your effort, these are the real rewards. These are the fire that keep the dream alive. So to anyone listening, I say this: celebrate your small wins. Write them down, remember them, smile at them. They are not small at all. They are signs of your courage. They are proof that your future is coming, slowly but surely. If I, Ang, a poor man with 2 jobs and no time, could find these small wins, then you can too. You just need to open your eyes and heart. Keep going. Your next win is just around the corner. Tips that worked for me. When I think back on my English learning journey, I realize that there were certain tips and habits that helped me more than anything else. These tips were simple, practical, and did not cost any money. They helped me use the little time I had in the best way. If you are working hard like me, with little free time and no big budget, these tips can work for you too. Here are the most important things I learned and still use every day. First, I learned that repeating and speaking English is more important than just reading. At the beginning, I thought I had to read many books or study long grammar rules. But reading alone did not help me speak or understand real conversations. So I changed my approach. I started to listen to short sentences and repeat them out loud again and again. I spoke slowly and clearly, even if I made mistakes. For example, when I listened to a sentence on YouTube or in a podcast, I paused the video and repeated the sentence 3 or 4 times. I tried to copy the pronunciation and rhythm. This simple action helped me remember the sentence better and made me more confident to say it in real life. Repeating gave my mouth practice and made English feel natural. Speaking out loud every day was hard at first because I was shy and worried about making mistakes. But with time, it became easier and fun. Second, I realized the power of using English in real-life situations. It is one thing to learn English from a phone or book, and another thing to use it outside, at work or in shops. I began to speak English when I could, even if it was just saying hello or thank you at the store. I practiced small conversations with coworkers or customers. Sometimes I asked simple questions like, "Where is the bathroom?" or "How much is this?" It did not matter if I made errors. What mattered was that I tried. Using English in daily life gave me practical experience. It showed me what words I needed to learn next. It also gave me courage because I saw that people understood me. Real-life practice taught me much faster than studying alone. So I recommend everyone to speak English in everyday situations, no matter how small. Third, one of the most helpful tips was to record my own voice and listen to it carefully. When I speak, I don't always know if my pronunciation is correct. So I used my phone to record short sentences or simple talks. After that, I listened to myself. Sometimes I was surprised because I heard mistakes I didn't notice while speaking. Listening helped me find weak points and improve. I practiced again, trying to speak more clearly or naturally. Recording also gave me confidence. When I listened and heard that I was improving, I felt proud. It was like having a teacher inside my phone. If you want to improve your speaking, recording yourself is a very useful and free tool. Fourth, I learned that learning phrases, not just single words, made a big difference. When I started, I memorized many new words every day, but I realized that knowing words alone was not enough. I didn't know how to use them correctly in sentences, so I began to focus on learning common phrases or short sentences. For example, instead of just learning the word hungry, I learned the phrase, "I am hungry," or "Do you want something to eat?" Learning phrases helped me speak more naturally. It was easier to remember because phrases are like small pieces of a conversation. When I met new words, I looked for phrases or example sentences to learn together. This made my speaking and writing much better. I encourage you to learn English in phrases and sentences, not just single words. Finally, the most important tip that helped me was to practice every day, even if I was tired. This was very hard because I worked 2 jobs and was often exhausted. Many times, I just wanted to sleep or rest. But I promised myself to do at least a little bit of English every day. It could be listening to one short podcast, repeating a few sentences, or reading 1 page of a simple book. Even 5 or 10 minutes of practice was enough to keep my learning habit alive. Over time, these small daily steps added up. I never stopped completely. This habit was the secret to my progress. No matter how tired you are, try to spend a few minutes with English. Consistency beats long, rare study sessions. Practicing daily kept my dream alive and my skills improving. Along with these tips, I learned to be patient with myself. Learning a new language is a long journey. Sometimes it feels slow. Sometimes I forgot words or made mistakes. But I did not give up. I reminded myself that every small effort was a step forward. I celebrated my progress, even the tiny victories. This positive attitude kept me motivated. I also want to say, don't be afraid to make mistakes. At first, I was afraid to speak because I thought people would laugh or think I was bad at English. But mistakes are part of learning. When you speak, you learn which words or phrases you need to fix. Mistakes show you where to improve. The more you speak and repeat, the faster you get better. Using these tips, I was able to improve my English slowly but surely. Today, I can understand videos, speak with coworkers, write emails, and even help others who want to learn English. I am not perfect, but I am proud of my progress. If you are watching this video and working hard like me, remember these tips. Repeat and speak more than just read. Use English in your daily life. Record your voice and listen to it. Learn phrases, not just single words. And practice every day, even if you are tired. These habits don't require money, only your time and heart. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to start and keep going. Your English will improve day by day, just like mine did. Believe in your dream. Use these tips, and soon you will see your own success story. How my life changed. When I first started learning English, I never imagined how much it would change my life. The first few weeks were difficult. I was tired, busy, and sometimes I doubted myself. But I kept going, day by day, using small steps and simple tips. After about 3 months, I began to notice real changes. My English speaking became better. I could understand more words and sentences. I was not perfect, but I could speak with less fear. This small progress made me feel proud and encouraged me to work harder. At the beginning, I was shy to speak English. I was afraid of making mistakes or sounding wrong. But after 3 months of daily practice, I noticed I could speak slowly and clearly. When I talked to coworkers or customers, I felt less nervous. I could answer simple questions and even ask a few. This made me feel happier at work because communication became easier. I stopped feeling left out or confused when others spoke English. This change gave me a small but important confidence boost. After 6 months, things changed even more. Because my English improved, new job chances appeared. At my second job, my manager asked me to help foreign customers because I could speak some English now. This was a big deal for me. It showed that my effort was recognized and valued. I also found better opportunities to work with people who spoke English. I even applied for a new position that needed English skills. Although I did not get it right away, I felt more hopeful about my future. Learning English opened doors that were closed before. I started to understand signs, instructions, and messages that I could not read before. This helped me at work and in daily life. I could watch English videos without subtitles and understand most of the words. I could listen to simple English podcasts during breaks and learn new things. These small victories made me believe in myself more and more. One of the biggest changes was my confidence. Before, I was quiet and afraid to speak up at work. I felt like I didn't belong because I could not join conversations. But as my English got better, I began to speak more freely. I joined group talks and shared my ideas. I could explain things clearly to my coworkers. This made me feel like a true part of the team. People started to respect me more because I could communicate well. This new confidence helped me not only in work, but also in life. I also noticed a change inside myself. Learning English made me feel like a new person. I was proud of my progress and excited about my future. My dream of a better life felt closer. I was no longer just a worker who did the same tasks every day. I was growing, learning, and moving forward. This feeling gave me energy even on hard days when I was tired or stressed. My family saw this change too. They were proud of me when I spoke English with others or understood new things. Their support encouraged me to keep learning. Sometimes my family helped me practice English. We watched videos together or practiced simple conversations. This made learning more fun and less lonely. After 1 year of steady work, my English was much better than when I started. I could read simple books, watch movies, and talk to many people in English. I even dreamed of traveling one day to practice English more. My life was changing step by step because of my English skills. Looking back, I feel grateful for the hard work I put in. It was not easy to learn English while working 2 jobs and being tired, but the changes I see today make all the struggles worth it. I want to tell you that if I can do it, you can too. Your life can change in small but powerful ways when you learn English. The important thing is to keep going. Small improvements add up to big changes. Every time you speak a new word or understand a sentence, you are moving forward. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent and believe in yourself. So, if you are working hard and learning English, know that your life will change too. It may take time, but it will come. You will feel more confident, get more opportunities, and become a new person with a brighter future. Your dream is possible. Keep learning, keep practicing, and enjoy the journey. Final words. You can do it too. I want to speak to you directly from my heart because I know what it feels like to be where you are now. When I first began learning English, I was just like you. I was poor, busy, and tired every single day. I worked 2 jobs from early morning until late at night. I had almost no time for myself. On top of that, I didn't know English at all. It felt like an impossible mountain to climb. I felt small, invisible, and sometimes I even doubted if I could ever learn. But you know what? I didn't stop. I kept trying, little by little, every day. And if I can do it, I truly believe you can too. I understand that life can be very hard. Maybe you feel overwhelmed with work, with family responsibilities, and with the endless worries about money. Maybe you think, I don't have time to learn English. or I am too old to start now. These thoughts are normal because I had them too. But the truth is, you don't need a lot of time or money to begin. You only need a small spark, a small step, and the courage to keep going. Learning English changed my life, not because I became perfect, but because I never gave up. I remember the days when I barely understood anything, when I forgot words all the time, when people laughed at my mistakes. It was painful. But every time I felt like quitting, I remembered my dream. I wanted a better job. I wanted to feel confident. I wanted to help my family. That hope pushed me forward. And now, after months of hard work, my English is much better. I feel stronger, braver, and more hopeful. And this can be your story too. Start today. Start small. It doesn't matter if you can only study for 5 minutes or say one sentence out loud. What matters is that you start, that you take one small step towards your goal. Maybe today you listen to one English word. Maybe tomorrow you watch a short video. Maybe the next day you try to say hello or thank you in English. These little actions build up like bricks, and one day you will look back and realize you have built a strong wall of knowledge. Consistency is your secret weapon. I learned this the hard way. Sometimes I was tired, stressed, or busy, but I promised myself to never skip a day. Even when it was hard, even when progress seemed slow, I kept going. I learned that slow progress is better than no progress. It is okay to make mistakes because mistakes are part of learning. The important thing is to keep moving forward, step by step. You might feel alone in this journey, but you are not. Millions of people around the world are learning English every day, just like you. And here, in this community, we support each other. I encourage you to share your journey with others. Talk about your challenges, your wins, and your dreams. When you share, you inspire others and also receive encouragement. Together, we grow stronger. I want to thank you for watching this video and spending time with me today. It means a lot that you want to learn and improve your life. I am proud of you already for taking this step. Remember, English is not just a language. It is a key that opens doors to new opportunities, new friends, and new dreams. Please don't hesitate to leave your comments below. Tell me about your story. Tell me about the small steps you took today. I want to hear your voice and cheer for your success. And if you found this video helpful, please share it with friends or family who might need the same encouragement. We can all help each other in this journey. You are stronger than you think. Your dreams are worth fighting for. You can learn English, even if life is difficult right now. You can become confident, find better jobs, and create a brighter future for yourself and your family. It is never too late to start. So, from my heart to yours, you can do it too. Start today. Start small. Keep going every day. Your future self will thank you. Thank you for being here with me. Let's keep learning and growing together.